Okay, welcome back rankers. This week, of course, and today, Google has launched its own browser. This is the Chrome browser. You may have heard of it yesterday. There was a lot of press about it and all sorts of media outlets. So I downloaded it this morning. It's only available for Windows at the moment, but I had a quick download. I had a quick look at it, and this is the browser. Essentially, the main difference between Google Chrome and other browsers that we know and love is that yes, it's got tab browsing, which finally IE has now. But if you've been using Firefox for a number of years, Firefox has had tab browsing for a number of years. One of the main issues with the tab browsers has been, especially if you're a heavy user like myself, where you might have 20 tabs at once open, or 20 odd. What can happen is that your browser can, if it gets hooked up on one tab with trying to execute something, JavaScript, Flash, whatever. YouTube is a big site for it. That sometimes if you have too many YouTube tabs open, your browser can come to a grinding halt, and that's got. I'm not going to go into it here, but it's got a lot to do with the way it handles memory and processes and executes JavaScript and those sorts of things. Well, what Google has done with their new browsers, they've made every tab actually independent from one another. So if, for instance, the AFL site starts dragging everything down, not that I'm saying it would, but if it did, you would find, for those of you who don't know, AFL is Australian football. You would be able to close that one tab and not crash the rest of your browser. One of the things I don't like about it at the moment is that it doesn't have the Google toolbar for Chrome. It is a fairly cut down sort of browser when you look at it initially, but it is quite powerful as well. I mean, you can do things just like take this tab completely out of the browser, so you have an extra tab over here. And the idea behind this browser, if you read the Google blogs and that sort of thing, is that they want this browser to act more like an operating system, in that everything is self-contained, each tab is self-contained, and it executes code better. And what Google say in their release is that, you know, when browsers were originally designed, they were just mainly for displaying web pages. These days, they're doing a lot more than that. They're actually displaying web applications or executing web applications, things like webmail, YouTube, Facebook, for instance. All of these things, they're more like web applications than what they are just simple web pages. So what Google's trying to do is essentially be the operating system, this is my opinion by the way, be the operating system for the net, or try to be that platform that you access the internet through. Microsoft was hoping to do that with Windows 95, but it didn't quite work. And that's the feel of what Google's trying to do. One of the things that you must know though is that because this is a beta program, not all the bugs are ironed out, and we can see here by just looking at the processes that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 processes. That represents 6 tabs of the browser that I've got open. But you can see here it's fairly memory intensive, and the CPU, if I can just grab one of the tabs, see if we can get the CPU to go up. But when you execute something in the browser, it can really play havoc with your CPU. So we'll just go back to the AFL site and have a look and see what happens to the CPU. So up here went up to 31. Down here we're down at 69, 77. That's a bit high for a browser. 92%, 95% of my CPU. I'm not that impressed with that sort of usage. But it is in beta, of course, so they have got a while to go. If you've got anything that you want us to talk about, then please send the email through. We'll get back to, oh look, another thing that Google's doing, they also announced yesterday, apart from their Google Chrome browser, is that they're also going to start doing business videos for internal use. Now I don't mean for Google's internal use, I mean, if you've got induction videos or training videos or those sorts of things that need to be seen around your organisation, Google's now going to start providing that service. Now, this was, a lot of companies have had a go at this sort of service, well, since the late 90s, myself included. It's a huge area. I mean, the idea behind it is that instead of you having to go out and get your own video streaming infrastructure for your organisation, you can simply use video.google to be able to do that. And really good for organisations that have a lot of different offices, geographically, so that you can just log on from wherever you are and watch whatever training video it is that you have to watch. And that is it, and we'll see you next week. Thanks very much. Bye.